Scott McKay is the publisher of the Hayride, contributing editor at the American Spectator, and the author of the Revivalist Manifesto. Scott, thank you for joining us again.
Hey, thanks, Dan. Thanks. Good to see you, Charles, or hear you.
Good to be here, man.
So the state of play with the presidential, your review.
Well, okay, I'm half with you on the Trump-Biden formula because I think barring something really unforeseen at this point, it's definitely Trump. And I think you're right on the DeSantis piece. I mean, I've said this too. I mean, his campaign has been diced apart 80 million times by now, and people just don't seem to get it. It's not Ron DeSantis' moment. As this thing has played out, there's really nothing that Ron DeSantis could have done that would have changed things, because all of the events have conspired to make this all about Trump, and I think this might end up being, and it's way too soon to know, but this might end up being a classic case of, watch out what you ask for,
right? Because
you might get it, which is that the left has done everything they could to cement Trump as the Republican nominee under the idea that, this is the one that we can absolutely beat. Well, the more things go, it starts to look like, no, actually, this is the guy that is, sort of nemesis to your hubris, because I mean, they're starting to find themselves in a lot of trouble. And I don't know that I'm with you on the Biden thing, because I don't think he can make it to Election Day 24. Everything I see from this guy, they are not going to be able to drag this corpse across the finish line. I mean, every public appearance he makes is, it devolves into mumbling and babbling and confusion.
Well, wait a second.
Can't read a teleprompter.
Wait a second. He had a wonderful moment yesterday. Let me play it for you.
Congressional Black Caucus embodies all those values. Just think of the work we've done together on civil rights, labor rights, health care, education.
That's a great moment speaking to the Congressional Black Caucus, except he was speaking to the Congressional Hispanic Caucus.
Yeah, well, but Dan, it was almost a complete sentence, and you have to give him credit for that.
That's true. I know, but but look, my thing on that is it is so built into the price, and is it is, and there are people, John Fetterman voters, who will vote for a potted plant over Donald Trump, and they're going to run, sort of the Obama second-term strategy. You just have to make the other side even more box office poison than he is. I'm not sure how you can do that exactly at this point, but that's the play, and so all he has to do is actually just be alive come November of 2024.
Well, and that's not guaranteed.
Well, nothing's guaranteed, but I mean.
No, I know, but I mean, like, that is somebody that, look, if he wasn't president of the United States, if he was, your grandpa or whatever, Joe Biden would be in a home at this point. I mean, that it seems pretty clear that that's the case. But here's the thing: they're not next year. They're not going to run this Joe Biden. They're going to run the Joe Biden who, over the next 6 to 8 months, continues to decline. Right. So who knows what this guy's going to look like in June of next year?
Well, but understand something too. This is always talked about, like they're going to do this and they're going to do that. Joe Biden, and more to the point, Jill Biden, gets to have a say.
Sure.
Right. And so, and the play for them is what they're seeing playing out real time. If you're under legal scrutiny, it's best to stay in power, not leave power. That's a much better position to be in, just as Donald Trump. And so they have every incentive to stay.
Well, they do. I have never been convinced that they're actually in charge, however. I think the real power center in Washington is not the White House, it's over in Colorado. So, the question there is, does somebody make the decision, okay, we're going to have to do something different? But here's the problem. Because this has not been done, you get closer and closer to the point where, okay, you're not going to run a primary on the Democrat side, so you can't vet anybody else. A week or so ago, Gavin Newsom once again said he wasn't going to get in the presidential race, and also anointed Kamala Harris as the heir apparent. The last thing you can do is run Kamala. I mean, that is one of these kind of John Fetterman moments. The thing of it is, you don't have the ability to manufacture enough votes to elect a John Fetterman president, and Kamala may actually be more noxious to the American public than Fetterman is. And if this thing continues to kind of devolve where Biden is concerned, you still have RFK Jr. out there in the primary.
Wow.
And who's at 20% now. And look, this is the thing, okay? And what I'm foreseeing here, which is very, very foreseeable, is there is some moment when they put Joe Biden in public where he does something that they can't gloss over. Does he drop a racial epithet while he's talking? Does he break out in, apparently he'll break out in F-bombs talking to his staff all the time, which is a clear sign of, old people with dementia and Alzheimer's get really abusive at times, to people that try to help them or whatever. So do you have a moment like that where the whole country goes, oh, my God, we can't have this guy as president one more day?
Well, but I mean,
where are they?
But right now the numbers, I mean, there's almost a super majority of people who think not only he commit a crime, or not only should I say he's too old to be in office, but they think he committed a crime, and it's still a dead heat with Trump, and with other Republicans too. So I mean, my point is to say they will literally a potted plant. Half the country will vote for a potted plant against any Republican. That's where the things are at.
That's certainly true. The question is, does that machine actually turn out those votes? And as things get worse, that becomes the risk. And I'm not and I have said this, and I will continue to say it, I make absolutely no assumptions about what will happen in 2024. I mean, this thing could go any kind of way. Mm-hmm. I'm just pointing out that and I mean, I think Trump is a much more stable Republican nominee at this point than Biden is on the Democrat side. But I mean, even that, you can't make any clear assumptions, because they want to put Trump in jail before the presidential election, and they want to keep him off the ballot in every blue state they can. So you can't completely gloss over those things. So I have no idea what's going to happen next year, or even what the character of that election, regardless of who the contestants are, might be. I mean, we may devolve into something that looks like 1860 by then.
Scott McKay, publisher of the Hayride, contributing editor at the American Spectator, author of the Revivalist Manifesto. Scott, thank you as always.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
You too. And Scott joined us on the Turnkey.pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. Your business and your money are in good hands with Signature Bank. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Nick Philippus, co-owner of Joe Donut and a proud customer of Signature Bank. We're a locally owned artisan donut shop that focuses on chef-made small batch and craft donuts. We have 7 locations around the Chicagoland suburbs, with an 8th location coming soon. After opening our original stores in Glenview and Niles, we came to Signature Bank for financing for our new Mount Prospect location. From PPP and material delays in construction, Signature Bank was flexible and truly a banking partner that a small business like ours hadn't experienced before. Even their fraud department was able to stop a $30,000 fraudulent check from clearing our account. That allowed us to focus on selling donuts, knowing Signature Bank had our back.
Signature Bank helps local businesses succeed. Let Signature Bank turn your business vision into reality. Visit signaturebank.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The weather is cooling down, but the savings are